very warm welcome to Lord's podcast. And in our podcast today, we have a very, very special guest who is not only just my good friend, but also I love the way he works. I love the passion he brings. And introducing to you the founder of Elite STEM Academy, Crew Kenneth or Teacher Kenneth.
Hey everyone, thank you very much, Lord Gifty, for your such a warm welcome. And mind me saying that this is such a pleasure to work with Lord Gifty, and there's a good chance for us to chat and hash it out. No, not hash it out, but more like have a casual talk.
Perfect, perfect. So, Kenneth, first of all, I would like to let our audience know that Mr. Kenneth is from Singapore and he is now in Thailand from
Well, it's been in Thailand for rough 3 years already.
last 3 years.
Yeah, that's 3 years.
And right. So, Kenneth, maybe before we actually start, before we actually dig more deeper into the education, the Thai education or Singapore education, I think we would love to know about you, how you started your journey, where you did your schooling. I know you went Air Force, Alva, so you can share some stories here.
Okay, so to share, uh, so I went to school in Singapore and I go to First Toa Payoh Primary School, and the Nanyang Polytechnic. Then after that, I go to National Service, serving my national service over there, and decided to sign on with the Air Force for 5 years. Then after that, pursue my university degree when I'm still working in the Air Force. After that, I left the Air Force after graduation and pursued to work in the Scoot Airlines.
Oh, okay. Scoot Airlines. Okay. Is it the one that is known as Knock Airlines in Thailand? Is that the
I think they do some collaboration with Knox,
Knock
but
Scoot?
it's its own entity and it's actually under Singapore Airlines Group. And when I'm working there, it's pretty cool, like the environment, but it was the COVID period.
Okay. And then you went into STEM education, am I right?
That's right. So after I left school due to COVID and proceed on to STEM education, teaching coding, math and science, and until now.
Right, perfect. So now, Kenneth, you shared your journey with us already. Now, I know you are such a nice instructor, and I cannot actually share how nice he is. I cannot share your tactics. I think it'll be great for you to share when a student comes to you first time. How do you evaluate that student?
This is a good question, Gifty. So usually when students come in, they are very afraid because meeting stranger first time and they have to be in a strange room with a stranger, learning something new to them perhaps. It kind of get to them being nervous and afraid to take up the next step into learning. And we need to make the student feel comfortable learning. That's the most important.
Sure.
And usually, what we do is we will try to get to know the students, of course, kind of create a bond between them at the start. Maybe you can play some games, asking them what's their favorite TV show, favorite games. For example, if they like Peppa Pig, they'll say, "Oh, I love Peppa Pig too." They'll say, "Oh, but you're an adult." Hey, adult can't learn Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig, a very lovely show. It is. All right. So now, Kenneth, the thing is, you teach coding, you teach math. Probably, I would like to talk here a bit about. We all know that math has haunted a lot of kids. Math is a scary word for a lot of kids. Why do you think that math is the most feared subject around the world? I'm not sure about Singapore, but why math is the most scared word or the subject of the course around the world?
Well, I think it boils down to being afraid to make mistake. A lot of students when they start doing math, they encounter some problems, they make a mistake, they firstly fear making the same mistake again. And some teacher may address it publicly and make them feel bad from raising their hands to ask questions. And it kind of results in students being fearful of making the same mistake, doing the same math question, or even learning something new in math. And that is why I think using some Singapore method, we can help build the confidence of the students back. Because Singapore method not just asking students to solve the question themselves. We use something called CPA approach, which is concrete, pictorial, and then abstraction. So we start off with something solid, the questions like that. Then we're going to break it down the question, maybe underline the questions, break it down to more simple terms, and draw diagrams if necessary to make them understand. So in Singapore math, we used to use bar chart, pie chart to help solve problems, and it kind of help break down big problem to smaller things. And students is able to abstract it out, create the equation that they want to use to solve that problem. It's I think it's marvelous to use Singapore math.
I see. So you were saying that the math or the kids why they hate math is because they are not able to visualize how to solve it or how to what is the benefit of it. Of course, a lot of kids actually, my students also, when they approach me, they ask me, "What is this? What is the benefit of doing this math? Will it help me? My father is in business, or my dad is doing this, or I want to be a football player." Do you think, personally, I feel like analysis and all is math. Do you think that math is important for kids? Like they are unaware how important it is, not only just to be a mathematician or engineer, but other fields of life as well.
I kind of agree that math is in our daily life, if you want it or not. It could be something simple, like let's say the student say he wants to be a chef. Does it have anything to do with math? Actually, it does. For example, putting in the amount of milk to make a cake,
Right.
putting how much gram of flour to bake the cake. As such, you need to put in at least what is a ml, what is a liter, all those kind is math, right? So I understand that the kid may think that hey, they have no idea how math can apply in their day-to-day life, and they do not want to learn math. But actually, math is all around us. As teachers, we try to relate math to real life as much as possible, make it fun for the students to learn. That's why we sometimes in coding class or perhaps in science class, we also try to relate them back to math.
So yeah, I'd like to share here because I myself is teaching coding and I'm teaching game development. A lot of our audience love games. I always tell them that math is very important. Math numbers are very important. For example, how much money you have in the game is a number. What level you are is a number. How many bullets in your gun in the game is a number. What position you are, XP, all these things are number, I think.
That's right, that's right.
Right. Kenneth, so now you are in Thailand. I just want to, when you interact with people, even Thailand and Singapore are not far from each other, but do you think that there is a gap between Thailand's education system and the Singapore's education system, particularly talking about math, the approach that Singapore people work or the Thai people work? Again, with all due respect, I think Thai people are such a generous people. But I just want to highlight how Singapore math is so famous. What makes it so special, or comparing to Thai math?
I think when it comes to math, we have to boil down to the education first. So in Singapore, they follow a very rigorous standard that the Ministry of Education already set. So, for example, in primary one, 6 years old or 7 years old, they already have a set of topics they require to learn. As compared to in Thailand, the topics they may learn may differ. It could be students at 6 years old, 7 years old doing a certain topic in this particular level in this school, and another school they're teaching something else. Then it kind of create like an imbalance or the topics that they match up together.
Wow. So you're saying that whether it's a government entity or whether it's a private school in Singapore, the ministry has guidelines and they gotta follow the guidelines and the curriculum is same. Is that what you're trying to say, sir?
Yes, they set the same standard for everyone teaching the same topic, regardless which level they are at. For example, they are all level one, they all learn this particular topic, and if they are in the level two, they're learning this particular topic.
Wow.
And well, I think I want to share the point that actually in Singapore, we have this mentality of the students being very afraid to lose. Not just the students, I mean the parents as well. So they have the term called kiasu.
Yeah.
Kiasu is like a Malay word for being afraid to lose. Afraid to lose what? Losing to their peers, losing to their friends, losing to other parents, losing to their cousins, and it kind of affect the whole education system for the students at this level age. I think it also affect me as well. When I'm young, I'm very afraid to lose to my peers and lose to my cousins. My mom will bring it up like, "Why am I not doing so well?"
Wow. Wow. I think this is not only Singapore. I think if we look into Chinese cultures, if you look into Indian culture where I come from, this the point you brought up is actually feels like, especially in the eastern side, the place we are now, this problem is there where we compare ourselves with others a
That's
lot.
right.
Others a lot. All right. So, Kenneth, you shared about Singapore's life. You shared about how Singapore's math is different. Talking particularly about Singapore,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I feel like Singapore's name is Indian name, but I'm not sure about it.
Oh well, I need to share with you this thing. The Singapore name, it sounds like Indian name, but actually it's a Malay name.
Okay.
Well, interesting story for that. So how Singapore name comes about is actually this Sumatra prince. Uh, First found the island. It's not called Singapore back then. It's just an island, and he comes to the island through a boat. And the first thing he got off the boat and he saw this creature. The creature is a very fierce-looking creature, and he assumed that creature is a lion.
Oh,
And that's lion in Malay is actually Singa.
Singa.
And then Pura, Singapore, Pura is island. So they named Lion City.
I see, I see. I
Yes.
heard the same story, but I heard that it was an Indian king. I thought that they went there, and then yeah, same story that you said. Singapore actually Singha. The word I think is from Sanskrit. Sing means lion, and Pura means place, like what you said.
City
Wow,
state.
city state. Right now, talking particularly about Singapore,
Mhm.
a very small country.
That's right.
How they have made a place in the top countries of the world. How? What kind of system Singapore has adopted that they are beating countries like, sorry to say, like in economy, a lot of countries, in lifestyle, in GDP, they are doing so great. What kind of approach Singapore's government or people have that makes this country so good in this part of the world?
I think it's a good question. So Singapore is just a small little island. It doesn't have any natural resources. So the only thing that we Singapore can excel in is the people. What we are giving out is education, science, to help build our country. We don't have any natural resources like rubber, oil, and so on, natural resources as compared to
Wow.
our neighbors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so you are saying that you enhance people, and wow, that's a beautiful thing. Like Dubai or other countries like Russia, they really rely on natural
That's
resources.
right.
Canada, but India, we have resources like farms and all that, cotton, jute farms, tea farms, and wow, that you are saying that even we don't have anything, we can still be competitive and be number one.
Yeah, there's this funny term that shares that other countries have their own exports. The only thing that Singapore can export are people.
Right, right. So, Kenneth, particularly talking about back to education, uh, Singapore system of education is very nice. And apart from Singapore's education system, what do you think? What other education system is building strong people, people with math, science, or other backgrounds like Chinese way of education, Japanese or Indian education system, or American system? So, what do you think about other education systems?
Well, for me personally, I have not been to um, China to get educated from there. But from what I read online is that they have their own uh, national exam, which everyone is fighting towards that exam, and that matters a lot
The cacao, is it called
Yes, the
cacao?
Cao. Yes. Uh, Everyone will work hard from young all the way to the age where they're taking Cao just so they can pass the Cao, get to a great university, and it kind of create a very huge competition in their society. Just want to share in Singapore, we do have such national exam. Although we don't segregate ourselves that much that hey, if you fail the national exam, it means you fail your life. It's not true. For Singapore, it's not true. So there are many different places that you can go. In Singapore, they build the education such that you're not doing that well in a national exam. There are places that you can go and still succeed in life.
I think this is something that we, some big countries like India itself, we have like the same exam like that, and yeah, it seems like we fail in life. That's how it feels like, but I think that is not true, like what you mentioned. And of course, you are with students. You are teaching a lot of kids. What kind of age range of kids you are teaching, and what do you think at what age the kids can start learning math, science, logic, or coding?
Well, I start teaching age of students 4 years old and above. I do get students like 5 years old, 4 years old coming in that they want to learn coding, they want to learn math, they want to learn science. Yes, science. So I got this request for 7 years old student want to learn science. And I think, hey, it's a little bit too young to be doing that. Let's get the foundation start first. Then we talk about more advanced topic. Yeah.
I see. All right. So, Kenneth, particularly again, talking back to Singapore itself. Singapore is a place where a lot of diaspora, the countries, people are from different places. Uh, what I heard is that a lot of Indians as well, and how people from outside are contributing to the success of Singapore, like Indian people, Chinese people, or Japanese people, or other Western people.
I think just to share this one, in Singapore, our government do not despise or do not have a rule or regulation to stop foreigners from coming in. We have our own Singapore citizens, and they understand there's a limit of how much well-known people or some talents uh, is in one country. That's why by exporting talents, for example, from India, from America, from China, that's how we can grow the country as such. And it's a bit different from other country who limits foreigners coming in, which is a little bit sad. What do you think? What do you think for India? Is it such case that they limit foreigners coming in?
I think we are not a country who brings a lot of foreigners to work. We are a country who actually uh, are going outside
Mm.
to work outside, whether it's America, whether it's Singapore. I'm not sure about it, but you can share about it if there are there's an Indian diaspora who is I think president is Indian. The Singapore's president was
Yes,
Indian.
so President Taman is Indian.
Okay, so yeah, so talking about India, so we are people who actually go out for work. We hunt the work. We go out and we leave our homes, especially the community I am from, the Punjabi community. We are people who actually will. So yeah, I would like to share here about a bit about my community. So we are a state that is on the borders from long time. So were we know that if war is there or anything is there, we have to flee away. We have to go here and there, and we are the people who will be just moving here and there, and that's why we just are very strong because we are very less. That's why we just it's easy for us to move, migrate anywhere and survive because we love to survive. We know how to survive. I was listening to some guy. They said that Indian might be born as poor. They might travel poor. They might go in another country as a poor, but their kids will not be poor. They will make their next generations rich and strong.
So I guess it builds kind of resilience amongst the people,
Exactly.
and that's why they are on a fight
Exactly.
to get to the top. That's why I saw a lot of tech CEO or even any CEO. A lot of them are Indian national
Yes.
or Indian descent. You kind of like notice it. I'm not sure if it's just me. Do you notice such a phenomenon at recent years?
Of course, I think there's a trend of Indian CEOs like companies like Google,
Oh,
Microsoft, PepsiCo, Adobe, Mastercard,
wow.
Twitter, um, and even the Kamala Harris, the vice president, she was Indian. So I think these people really work hard, and I think Indian people are now turning out to be very great entrepreneurs as well. So yeah, that's what I would like to share about it. All right, getting back to this whole Singapore and Thailand. Now, how did you actually end up in Thailand? Why are you in Thailand? Why not other countries? Is there any particular reason to that?
Well, for one, I married a Thai wife.
All right.
Yeah, that's the reason why I come here in the first place. And with her, she's awesome, my wife. And coming from Singapore over here, it's a huge change, right? And why do I want to do this is because for her, she's a scientist for the government. Uh, for her, if she want to leave her job and go to maybe Singapore with me, she will not able to find the same exact role she
Oh,
wants to do. And that's why for me as a teacher, I can teach anywhere in the world. I can use my skill and still even earn a living for that.
right, right. Again, I would like to share here something that like what you said. Like I think teachers are is a role which is very global. You can learn from anywhere you want. There were people in the old times who the university is still there. The Chinese people used to travel all the way to India to learn because that was world's first university that was in India actually.
Wow.
And the raiders raided the university. They burned the university. It was called Nalanda University. So Chinese people used to go in India and learn, and even Japanese people used to, in the long old time, they used to travel to India to learn in the world's first university. They used to call it heaven on earth in the old times. Japanese people, what I have heard from books
I
and
see.
things.
Pretty cool.
Right. So again, Kenneth, so you are here because of your wife. Now, how we know the education system of Singapore is, of course, is a leading education system. A lot of kids want to fly to Singapore to get their primary, higher secondary, or even their university education from Singapore. But how different is the life, the cost of living in Singapore and in Thailand? You are here for very long. What do you think about it?
Okay, let's talk about the education first and move on to how much it costs. So, in terms of the education, I with my students here, I talk to them about Thai education and I've been through Singapore education. I've noticed that there's a huge difference. Like I mentioned from the start of the podcast, education for Singapore it's standard. Everyone go through the step by step. It's highly competitive. Just to share, they start the class as early as 7:30. 8 a.m. could be their first period. And they end their class or school about 1 to 2 p.m. It differs from different school. After that, they will have extracurricular activity. We call it ECA. Could be a technology club or you want to go be a library club, go for reading books. So there are different ECAs that they can learn and go through. And after the ECAs, they will go to enrichment class. Like something like cool one. It's like whole world. Like they go for enrichment for their math, English, science, mother tongue, any enrichment course the parents find it. And compared to Thailand, I think Thai students is a little bit more freedom. Uh, I wouldn't say that they're not academically high, but they have something that Singapore prep students don't know, which is creativity and fun to express. I would say Singapore education is more like a box where the students have to like go through everything, follow everything, answer the question based on MOE requirements. But for Thai, they're more flexible. They get to do something that they like. Perhaps they can do dancing, music. singing as compared to Singapore. We in our generation they don't really encourage such
I
activities.
see. And this was all about education. And what about the life now in Singapore? And like, do you think like cost of living? That's what I wanted to actually know.
Having living in Thailand for the past 3 years, I find the cost of living here to be much more cheaper than Singapore. Of course, I'm earning more in Singapore, but the cost of living in Singapore is much more higher as compared to Thailand. For example, a plate of chicken rice in Singapore, I used to think that it costs $3, and past 3 years now, right now my friend's telling me it costs like 550 Singapore dollar just for the same chicken rice.
Five dollar 50 cents.
Yes, $5.50 is roughly almost 120 baht for a plate of chicken rice in Singapore. As compared to
It's
Thailand,
half of the price.
less than half perhaps.
Mm.
Yeah, which it's the cost of living for food and for maybe accommodation, where they stay. If you want to rent a condo, example with swimming pool and very nice gym in Singapore may cost up to 3,000, 4,000
Dollars.
cheapest dollars. Yes,
Sing dollars.
in Sing dollar, that is almost like 100,000 baht
Ooh.
just for every month condominium, one bedroom, swimming pool, gym and such. As compared to Thailand,
What?
it's
100,000 you can get a house on rent, I think here.
yeah. Last time I used to stay in the heart of Bangkok, which is at Thong Lo, Angkor Mai area, and the rent was around 14,000 baht, which is I think quite a reasonable price. But you can't find that kind of rent to stay in a condo in Singapore. Yeah.
Right. And talking particularly now about Thailand, now why do you think Thailand is such a loved country? Why people are flying from around the world? What makes Thailand so special? I am here from last, I think, 10 years.
Wow, 10 years.
And I'll share my thoughts about it as
Yes,
well.
please.
But I think I would love to know from you what brings you in Thailand. Like even you were not married, but why people are traveling to Thailand? Why they are not going to some other countries? Why Thailand is such a loved country by foreigners, by Chinese, by Indians, by Vietnamese? What do you think about it?
I think it boils down to the Thai people because they are very friendly, open to accepting people.
True.
Even if you are learning the language for the first time, they won't laugh at you. They will try to teach you. I've been in a Thai company for 3 years now, and sometimes I get to learn when I speak Thai, and they will correct me and not laugh at me. So I kind of think that they are very accepting of foreigners. That's why they are inviting a lot of foreigners coming in. Is how accepting they
That's
are.
true. I think they're very accepting, and also I think they have open arms and they accept everyone, and the love, and it's called land of smiles. You will not see anyone being rude to you. Of course, there is good and bad sides everywhere, but I think I have never seen any Thai person when you walk into their store and they talk to you rudely. They love their work. They smile at you, and I think hands down that's where you will just buy the product because they are dealing with you in such a nice way. So I think the way they deal is something that brings people in. And the next thing is beautiful, lovely food. And the Thai food is very famous in, I think, around the world. And I think they know exactly how to make food.
I agree. So talking about Thai food, I think everyone had their own favorite menu. I'd like to hear, Gifty, what's your favorite menu for Thai food?
I love Thai food. I like Isan food,
Oh,
which is som tam, lap kai. I love what do you call it? Nam tok mu. I love khao phat tom yum. It's something that I'm a big fan from
man,
recently.
I'm drooling just at the sound of it.
Right, right. So I think again, we will talk a bit more about education now. So, how you would like to help Thai kids, what they can get from enrolling in your class, or what they should expect when they visit in your class? What do you think about it?
I noticed that the Thai student, not all, but some of them do have a gap in their learning. and they're afraid to ask questions, especially in class. And when that happens, they are unable to visualize the question. So if they're unable to visualize the question, they're unable to solve it. So when it comes to what I can help them is using Singapore method, using CPA method, like I talked about previously, help create the diagram, help them visualize the question by breaking it down. And that is what Elite STEM Academy can do to help find them the best strategy using our own method with the help of our great teachers to help bring this education to them, bridging the gap. As I say, Thai students have their own creative method in solving questions. I would like to bring in Singapore method and combine them together to create kind of like holistic way of education. Not only they can benefit from their creative way, they can build on our structure way to solve problems.
All right, perfect, perfect. And a bit about math is there, but a bit about tools. Like, of course, nowadays kids are fan of things like Roblox.
Mm.
What do you think about Roblox? Is it a good tool for kids to explore, or is are games a good way of learning something? Like because myself, we will be introducing esports course. Don't forget to check it out. You're gonna learn a lot of things. But I would like to hear also from Kenneth. What do you think about video games? First of all, do you even play video games?
Yes, I do love to play video game myself. Huge fan of Dota, Dota
Dota.
2.
Oh, Dota 2, right.
Yeah, but what I want to share is right, we can't take the games out from the students. We can't just restrict them from stop playing video games or uh, taking the whole thing about games and just make them focus on education. I think students have their own way of de-stressing. Sometimes they do go overboard in playing games, but I think we can, as parents or teachers, help bridge the games to something more benefit that instead of just playing games, right? They can build their own games and let other people play their game. That's a form of learning. And talking about games, the skills they use in the game can be applied to real life as well. For example, in subject like math and science, game theory in the game, they have physics as well. My students talk about gravity, not from learning it in the textbook, but from the game itself. Like for example, they said, oh, the gravity of the game is 10 newtons. We want to change the gravity. How do we do that? In the game, they learn about it and then apply it and say, oh, because of the game, they learn about in the moon, it has lesser gravity. In space, there's no gravity. Such a things you don't get to learn out from the textbook. Maybe they can learn it, memorizing it, but they don't apply it and remember it.
Right, right. I think that's exactly because the other day I was teaching a kid about unity, and I just wanted to explain friction to him, and the way the game he understood that when two bodies are actually there was a sphere. I think you have seen the games like where you are a ball and you just have to avoid obstacles. So he wanted to have some kind of restriction. So he introduced friction, a frictional force on the body. So I mean, such a beautiful way of understanding friction because when I was back in India, I just learned about friction through solving some questions and all that. So, yeah.
So talk more about this India, what you learn for friction physics. Do you like memorize the formula and just try to solve the equation instead of understanding it?
Um, Again, Indian way of again, everyone has their own way, and I am really thankful to all my instructors back in India. Whatever I am, I really respect my teachers, and that I am here because of them. And what I think is there was one of my instructor. He told me a glitch in the system. So how do you actually learn? Maybe it can help someone here.
Do share, do share.
So, what my teacher told me that he was a physics teacher, he said, whatever I'm teaching you, you focus in the class, think of it, I'm telling you a story, and recreate this story in your brain. Okay? So, we were learning, let's say, about circuits. So I'll visualize, oh, this current is going there and that, blah, blah, blah. So I'll listen to him properly. Then he said, first step, listen to me properly. Step two, go home. Don't waste a lot of time, but just open the book and read what you did today. So he said, if you listen in the class, you get 50% of the thing. You go home, you get 40% of the thing. That means 90% of the thing is with you. And the rest 10% you can get it. How? Is by just opening that book maybe after 1 week, one more time. So, oh, this one, I've seen it before. It's a the human brain will structure in such a, when you see something again and again, for example, I'll tell you with a simple example. You want to go to some restaurant, some new restaurant. You don't know the way. You use Google Map. Your brain looks at the way. Done. You go there twice. You still use Google Map. Fine. Third time, you might not need Google Map because those places, those roads are now planned and structured in your brain. And that's how I was learning when I was back in India. I used to structure my brain, but my study times were very hard. I used to get up at like 3:30 and 4:30.
3:30 in the morning?
In the morning. So I have first class at 4:30 in the morning. Physics and chemistry alternative days. Math will be every day. And thanks to my parents, so I'm an engineer. I always say that when you become whatever doctor, engineer, scientist, astronaut, it's not only you becoming engineer. I think the whole family becomes engineer because they are the backbone. When you wanted to get up, your mother is there to wake you up. When you want to go to someplace, your dad is there to drop you there. You want a food, the food is on your table, cooked by your brother or your mother or your sister. I think it's a combined effort. You can never be something in your life alone. You need parents, you need friends, and I think you need teachers as well. That's why they're very important. Now, also getting off the topic a bit. Now, uh, do you believe in ghosts?
Try not to believe because I'm a huge science person. So the entity of ghost is not proven. That's why I try to avoid this topic. What do you think?
Yeah, I think good and bad is there, of course. But I wanted you to share that story that because you were part of Air Force, I think something happened in the Air Force, right?
Oh my god.
I want the story to come out.
Okay. I try to tell myself that is not true. It didn't happen, but it kind of engraved in my mind that it happened. So it didn't happen in Air Force. So we have our basic military training previously, and to start the army, we got to go through basic military training. And I was on guard duty. We have to do patrols, and usual patrol route. Me and my buddy will walk this same route, uh, the same way every 2 hours. So we take a 2 hour patrol and we'll break for 2 hours and then do the same patrol again. So the first patrol went well. It was 9 p.m. to 11. I did the patrol. Everything goes well. Back to the bunk, 11 p.m. I get a rest for 2 hours. Next patrol, 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Oh,
1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Oh, a bit eerie. But the patrol went well. We go through, walk the same route. Everything is good. And my partner and I decided to, hey, let's try go the shortcut. Take a huge round back. It's gonna be tiring. So I, as a good buddy, say, all right, let's go. I mean, we have a torchlight. Just take a shortcut. All right. So we're going through the forest shortcut. It still have some path, but we were hearing some weird noise from the forest. In the forest, yes. So my buddy said, hey, what's that? Check it out. It's like, come on, man, it's so late. Let's not do that. And he was like, let's try and see. Maybe it's an intruder or something. It's our job as patrol to go check it out, right? So I was like, fine, let's go. So he was like going to the torchlight, rushing through all the little leaves on the side, and we are hearing some sound in the back. It was like uh chanting, some chanting sound, but we cannot really hear what kind of chanting is that, what language is it. Then my friends and I, when we walk closer, we hear it's actually a Malay chanting in Melayu language. So it's like, oh man, cannot be this late. and there's no temple nearby.
And it's in Singapore.
In Singapore. And the island that we are training on is an inhabitable island, which means it's only used for military. So you cannot have civilians over there. And we are hearing Malay chanting at the middle of the night. And that's why me and my buddy, I think that's not right. Let's run. Then we quickly run to our bunk, told our sergeant about this, and he's like, oh, this is common.
It's cool.
If you hear something like that, when you deviate from the path, it happens. So, but although this happened, I try to like not think about it, although it's engraved in my heart, in my mind. So it technically didn't happen, I hope, in my mind.
All right. Okay. That was something off topic from teacher Kenneth, but of course. Now, Kenneth, I think to end this podcast on good and high.
Wait, hold on. I was just very curious about you talking about esports just now. You were telling us about the esports event. You gotta give us a little bit of hint. What is the esport camp about?
All right. So thanks for bringing it up, by the way.
Sure.
So esports, electronic sports, is a very, very, very crucial part of our life now. I think it's an industry that is outpacing. Of course, it's outpacing music industry and also the movies. For example, the movie Avenger made $740 million collection for around 4 months. And then there's this tiny, tiny game called Red Dead Redemption 2, made the same money, $740 million, but in 4 days. So you can see the gap. You can see the gap. So I think esports or gaming is something that is very, very close to humans, man. Especially in this era that we are right now. And so I have thought of why not I bring up a camp which is talking about esports. I know parents worry about games and all that. So I have structured this course in such a way so that the the kids can enjoy and get back home with something in hand. For example, in this course, they will be developing skills in the game, what kind of routines the esports players follow, what kind of health routines players follow. My dad, who's a doctor, I even brought him into this, and I asked him what kind of health routines people should follow who are into esports, because he was a physio of Indian cricket team. And I have integrated all these things. Again, other thing is like, how do you work with different softwares like streaming, OBS, and all these things? How do you make your posters, design poster, or even hold an esports tournament? How can you do that? What are the different roles that come in esports uh, environment? These are some of the things that we'll be teaching. Again, the business model of esports. So I think if you're a kid this summer, instead of sitting free at home, they're gonna play games anyway. Why don't you send them for this esports course where they can actually learn something fruitful, something useful, and go back home with something that might change their life into something different. So that is what is the esports course is all about. And of course, it's going to happen on site at True Digital Park. Of course, they'll have a wonderful time looking at people, how the developers or gamers work here around, and fitting into that environment is something that the kids should know.
Good, 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 good. I think it's a great opportunity for students to learn a different type of topic instead of learning math and science, something that they are hold more closer to esports. I think it's a good opportunity for students to come join this course and learn about this. But quick question, Gifty, is this course about playing games? Do they come here to play for the entire thing?
No.
Or what is it?
Yes, yes. So that's a belief I would like to stop just right now, make a hold on that. They will not be coming here to only play games. This is not about playing games. This is about understanding how games are made. This is about understanding what skills they need. For example, the FIFA game. What kind of skills they might need, or the strategies or skill development they need to have for a shooting game, for a FPS game. Yes, they will be playing game, but in a professional way. So same like, I'll give a bad example here. Maybe a gun in a hand of a stranger is scary. A gun in a hand of a police officer and an army officer means safety. So that's what we want to turn here. We don't want the kids to only just come play games. We want them to understand this business model of esports. And of course, we will in future. We are having going to have a few partnerships with some big brands, and we're going to hold esports tournaments. Also, we are already holding a lot of esports tournaments, and you can check our esports. Rankings, world rankings. Anyone can join our esport tournaments and they can be part of our world rankings. And why we have these world rankings? Because the kids have purpose. Right now they're playing games without any purpose. They might would like to gain a rank in the world, and that's why we have brought esports world ranking. Every month the rankings will shift depending on your uh, performance in the tournaments.
So you're saying that how do the students get into the ranking? Do they need to like play some kind of tournament?
So they need to play tournaments that are held by Coding. That's my brand. And if you want to check it out about upcoming events, where you can go to www.coding.com, coding.club, and also uh, there's an upcoming event about Rivals, Roblox, and
Very popular game.
Very popular game, exactly. So if anyone is interested, their event name is Rivals Undone. And again, we are not here to just hold a tournament, but it will be live on YouTube. Your parents will have a chance to watch you, and also you'll be walking home with 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 Robux if you are on the first, second, and third position.
Oh, so joining a tournament, they not only win their Robux, they earn their title to be in the ranking.
In the ranking.
What's not to go for?
Right, exactly. And the big thing is building a community. Now, the students who are with me, of course, some of them learn math with me, some of them learn coding with me, but they are now in this community of coding or an elite STEM. Now we have some students from elite STEM, your brand as well, who build up this Discord servers. They are talking with each other. They are getting insights of each other, making friends, and knowing different people. That's our goal, and of course, spreading love. That is all we want through this tournaments. Right. So, Kenneth, I think we had a very fruitful talk. And before we go out of this podcast, I want you to, say something to our audience about your math science class and what kind of a final message you have for Thai parents or Thai students.
All right. So for those who don't know, Elite STEM Academy is a math and science tutoring service where we bring Singapore approach methods to Thailand for our Thai students. Many schools do not use Singapore methods or they are using Singapore curriculum methods. They want to improve on what they existing learning. You can find me, Teacher Ken, Teacher Gifty. We will help you out using our strategized curriculum to help solve those problems that they may have or they're struggling with.
All right. So that should be all from Lord's podcast. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, Kenneth.